Well, hello everyone. I'm so glad you could join me today. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Richard Joseph Michael Goetze, Richard J.M. Goetze. I'm a Canadian author and I sell collections of short stories. I sell individual short stories on kobo.com for audiobooks and on amazon.ca for both paperback and for ebook versions of my stories. I sell stories not to become famous. I sell stories because I want to give back to society. We don't live alone in this world, and I think we should all try the best we can to help others whenever we can. Surely, if you've fallen down, you'd want someone to give you a helping hand. So that's what I try to do with my talent. Rather than being selfish and wanting to have all the glory for myself, it's not all about me, it's about the other people that I can't help. So I'd rather use the wonderful talent that I have to write and put together short stories to help the less fortunate. So what happens is, when you buy one of my short stories or collections from Kobo or Amazon, I earn royalties. Those royalties come to me from those companies. I don't keep those royalties. What I do is every year I write a check with those royalties and I give it directly to a food bank. So I give 100% of my proceeds to help the less fortunate. It helps the food bank here to buy food to stock their shelves so that the poor people who can't afford to go out and buy groceries can come in and get food for free. So that's basically what I'm doing. So where did I start my journey? I started my journey as a writer in year 2000. I published my first collection of short stories, Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake, back in the year 2001. It took me about a year to put this collection together. It's a collection of 12 heartwarming short stories. Basically, it takes my character from his birth to the proud age of 5, discovering fun, life lessons, love, laughter, and all that can be seen through the perspective of a 5-year-old child. So a lot of fun and adventure up in a small country town called Otter Lake, Quebec, where we have learning, love, compassion, forgiveness, all that good stuff, but from a 5-year-old's perspective. Really great book for reading to your grandchildren, reading to your children, and for kids to really learn that life lessons are so worthwhile. You can learn so much from life lessons, and why not see those life lessons through the eyes of little Ricky? So my first collection. The first collection was so good that the fans told me it was so great that this year, in 2025, I decided to put together a brand new collection called The Sequels. So now I have out here Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake, The Sequels. Have you ever wondered when you've finished reading a book or a story or watching a TV program or movie, gosh, that was such a good show. I wonder what happened to the characters next. What did they do? Where did they go? What do they say? What's going on in their lives now? Well, now you can find out in the sequels, because each of the original 12 stories of Little Ricky, the Boy from Otter Lake, are now continuing in the sequels. Each of the original 12 stories now have their own special, brand new sequel story. So if you like the first 12 stories, or you want to read the first 12 stories and then find out what goes on next, well, it's here in the sequels. This book is now available for sale on kobo.com and amazon.ca. A couple of years, or maybe even a year and a half after I published that collection, my fans were really happy with the stories and they said, oh, we'd like to have more. So I figured, why not? I have the talent, so let's continue to raise more money for the poor. So then I started writing Little Ricky, the Lad from Otter Lake, Adolescent Adventures. This is another collection, my second collection of 12 wonderful stories, but my protagonist, Little Ricky, has aged. He's now no longer 5 years old, he's age 14. At 14 years old, he's in high school and he's meeting some really, really important people. He's meeting some very important teachers, some very important friends, and he's learning that, you know what, being a teen is tough. It's really tough to be a teen. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of emotions happening, and in these 12 heartwarming short stories, Ricky figures out that there's always an answer to every problem that there is. So he finds his way, and it's again about love, forgiveness, learning, compassion, all of those good stories that are totally Little Ricky bound short stories. This collection, however, was so big when I put it together, I had to break it into 2 parts. So this collection is sold in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 has the first 6 stories, and part 2 has the second 6 stories, stories 7 through 12. So again, 12 stories. You can buy them in the collection in the 2 parts, or you can buy them individually. They are sold as audiobooks, ebooks, and paperbacks. I'm also writing a third collection called Little Ricky, the Young Man from Outer Lake. It will eventually have 12 short stories. It currently has 4. I have 3 now published and available through Amazon.ca or Kobo.com. And the fourth story will be published this summer sometime. I'm hoping to have a 5th or maybe even a 6th before the end of this year. However, I had some health issues, so I didn't have as much time as I wanted to be sitting and writing. So perhaps next year in 2026, I'll continue and finish the last 12 stories, last 6 stories for the 12. Anyway, so that's coming along. They are all going to be available on Kobo.com and on Amazon.ca. But today's focus is a story from my second collection, Little Ricky, the Lad from Outer Lake Adolescent Adventures. And this story is called A Friend's Secret, A Friend's Truth. In our lives, we all have some secrets that we don't want to share with anyone. And we only share them with very special people, because they really are something so deep in our soul that they're so personal to us. So this is a story about 2 friends. One friend has a very big secret that if told, if ever got out, if ever revealed to the public, it could drastically change the lives of everyone around that person and, of course, the friends. So it's a very, very caring story about 2 friends and one friend protecting another friend with a very deep, deep secret. So hang in there. I'll be right back and we'll have a reading from A Friend's Secret, A Friend's Truth. September 1979 was a very special time for these 2 friends. So hang in there. I'll be right back. Hi, so welcome back. That's great. So now let's get into today's reading with Ricky. And today's story, as I said, is going to be A Friend's Secret, A Friend's Truth. This is the paperback version of the book. It's also available as an ebook or as an audiobook. This is the cover of the book. And what the paperback looks like in the back of the book tells you a little bit about the story and, of course, a little bit about me, the author. So let's first of all open the book and have a peek at the teaser paragraph for this story. I'll read that off to you and then we'll get into the story, Reading with Ricky, for today's featured reading. So, Little Ricky, the Lad from Outer Lake Adolescent Adventures. A Friend's Secret, A Friend's Truth. Early in the month of September 1979, the routine of a new grade 9 school year begins for poor Ricky. Ricky feels challenged by the complexities of algebra, a mandatory course as part of his curriculum. Thankfully, he has a great teacher called Mr. Philip Perry, who helps him demystify algebraic expressions. Concurrently, Ricky meets a new student who he befriends. He discovers that this individual is a very special person who holds a deep personal secret. Unexpectedly, when Ricky's pal's secret gets revealed, life changes for everyone. Though very shaken by the fallout, Ricky is fortunate to have the support of his trusted teacher, Mr. Perry, who helps him navigate through this very painful ordeal. So hang in there. The reading will come very shortly. But before we do that, I just want to show you, here are some of the people that I have noted in this short story. It's grade 9 school year at Victoria Avenue High School. 2 amazing people in there who I've based the characters in this book upon, Mr. Perry and Mr. Deschamps. And here is the cover, of course, of what this story is all about. A Friend's Secret, A Friend's Truth. So hang in there. I'll be right back with it, and we'll have a little reading at the beginning from A Friend's Secret, A Friend's Truth. All right, so here we go. Little Ricky, A Friend's Secret, A Friend's Truth.
Summer was over. Well, it was not quite officially over because that change would only happen on the 21st day of the month. September 21st was the first day of autumn, and Ricky was not looking forward to it. He loved hot summer days and was not happy that they were nearly gone for yet another year. Fortunately for Ricky, summer-like weather continued, even though the Labor Day weekend of 1979 was now a slot in history. After the long weekend, studies at high school had resumed on September 4th, and now sitting in math class, Ricky longed to be back home and relaxing out in the garden with his beloved grandmother, chatting, sharing secrets, and soaking up the sun. The teacher, a good teacher Ricky believed, was standing up at the front of the classroom, speaking, gesticulating, and demonstrating yet another basic formula on the blackboard. Ricky, however, turned his attention to the sunny windows and begged the gods to suddenly end the torture of algebra and send him back home. Outside, it seemed the whole world, well, at least the township of Shawville, Quebec, and the surrounding areas, were blessed with another outstanding day. It was hot, perhaps not quite as hot as the previous June, July, and August days, but the thermometer, Ricky was certain, probably read about 77 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. With temperatures this high in September, it would be a perfect sunny day. From what Ricky could tell from his view through the classroom windows, there was not a cloud in the sky. The tree branches were not moving either, so he assumed that there was no wind, perhaps only a light, refreshing breeze. The classroom windows were open, and fresh air filled the space. No specific outdoor scents wafted through the windows, but because it was late morning, smells of French fries and perhaps vegetable soup drifted down from the cafeteria. Now that he was in grade 9, Ricky and his classmates had moved from the upstairs rooms of the older big red brick part of Victoria Avenue High School to the classroom portables that were attached together to form the newer part of the school. Ricky's new homeroom was sandwiched between two other grade 9 classrooms, which were all in the same row as the cafeteria and the principal's office. Ricky, though not thrilled to be back at school, was more content to be with a different mix of teens this new school year. This bunch seemed to be more mature, and during the first days of school was a lot nicer to him. A sharp rap at the classroom door startled Ricky. The intrusion forced the lad from his daydream of musing about the beautiful weather outside to curiosity of who might be at the door. Every student in the classroom looked up suddenly, put their pencils and papers down, and glanced towards the doorway. The math teacher, Mr. Perry, put the piece of chalk he was holding down onto the little metal shelf that was attached below the board. He turned to face the class and fretted, "Okay, gang, hold that thought. I will come back to the importance of that variable as soon as I see who is at the door." The group of students groaned, and one of them squawked, "Oh, Mr. Perry, do we have to?" The class of teens laughed. Mr. Perry strode slowly towards the door, took a quick glance through the window, grasped the handle, and swung it open.
And that is the beginning of A Friend's Secret, A Friend's Truth. So the young lad with the auburn hair has a very, very deep, dark secret, not dark secret, a very deep secret that will be discovered, and the whole world will change for everyone. So if you're liking this story, at the beginning of this story, and you want to buy it, you can find it on Amazon.ca or on Kobo.com, depending on your preference, if you like audiobook, paperback, or ebook. And when you buy this book, the royalties, 100% of the royalties will go to support the food bank. So again, this is A Friend's Secret, A Friend's Truth, one of the stories in my second collection, Little Ricky, The Lad from Outer Lake Adolescent Adventures. If you're enjoying my reading with Ricky's here on my YouTube channel, please give me a thumbs up. That means so much to me. Sending me a comment would really delight me. I love to hear what you have to say. Your comments really encourage me and help me to write better, stronger stories. I really enjoy hearing from you, so leave me a note. I would love to see those. And of course, to be notified, simply subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button down there, and also to get notified, click that little bell. If you click that bell, anytime I upload a new video to my YouTube channel, you'll know about it. So anyway, today's reading with Ricky. I hope you had a good time with me, and I'm wishing you a very wonderful day. Do take care all. Bye-bye.